Hey everyone, Brendan Sander here. How are you? Thanks so much for joining me and welcome to another episode of New Music Finds. This is where I like to collect together all the different things that I picked up over the past week, present it to you guys, give you a little bit of background on it, hopefully turn you on to something new. Now this particular week, not as big as my previous week where I had my birthday week and I got a lot of stuff. So this one here, 7 CDs, 1 box set, but some still really cool stuff included within all this, and we're going to get into it here in just a bit. But before we start, if you're new to my channel and you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please do. Also leave a comment, hit like. All those things do help support my channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. And of course, as an added bonus, by turning on notifications, you'll never miss an episode and stay up to date on really cool things like this with New Music Finds. So this past week, the July 25th, very cool release day. So I've been waiting for this one for a long time. The new Alice Cooper, Revenge of Alice Cooper. Now, this isn't just any regular Alice Cooper album, but it is the 30th studio solo album from the man Alice Cooper, but it's also the 8th studio album from the band Alice Cooper. We have the reunited original Alice Cooper band 52 years later after Muscle of Love from 1973, their last album. Finally, we have another brand new album, this one right here. And so the band did get together. They recorded a live show in 2015, and they recorded a couple new tracks on Paranormal, a couple new tracks on Detroit Stories. But here we go, we're finally getting a brand new album. And it is a fantastic album. I have done a full review and unboxing of this album, but I gotta say, it's not just a good album, it's a great album. And I don't say that lightly. I really did enjoy this album. It all fits cohesively. One of the things that I've always noticed about Alice Cooper albums is sometimes there's those stray tracks that don't really fit in. And I gotta say, this album from start to finish really does. The band wrote together, they recorded together. So it's not a bunch of outside people writing and the original Alice Cooper band performed it, but they actually wrote and created it together. And I think that is the impetus for behind why this album sounds so good and so cohesive. And as far as I'm concerned, at least, I think this stands up really well next to their original albums that they put out back in the day. I'm good with this. I think it's cool. Hopefully you guys do too, but weigh in, let me know. As I said, full review of that has been done, so you can check out in more detail if you want. The other cool thing that came out, the new Bruce Dickinson, I'm still going to call it new even though it's a reimagining of his original album, Balls to Picasso. This is called More Balls to Picasso. So his 1994 studio solo album, second at the time. He never really felt like it came together for him. The process was started and abandoned 2 times before, then on the 3rd time where he finally completed and worked out the album. And so because of those stop and start and the different attempts that didn't work out, he always felt this album was a bit of a Frankenstein cobbled together, never really working very cohesively. And so basically he wanted to go in and fix it. He wanted to do a reimagining of it. He embellished the guitars. He added orchestration to it. It has a new mix on it. And I have to say, after listening to this, and I know the original album very well, I got to say it's never been one of my favorite albums in his catalog, but I think this is now the definitive version. I really like the sound of this a lot more than the original one from 1994. So 31 years on, maybe Bruce has finally gotten it right. I don't know. Check it out. Maybe it will be a definitive version for you, maybe not. I certainly don't think it ever replaces the original. So for me, I never have a problem where artists want to do the reimagining, the remix, anything like that. I've got the original, now I've got this one too. I can pick and choose which one I want to hear. But Iron Maiden frontman having something new out, very cool in my opinion. All right, so obviously lots in the news due to Ozzy and certainly with Black Sabbath that we ended up having a tie-in with something. Now, this is not an Ozzy-era Black Sabbath album, but The Eternal Idol getting a remastering, a 2025 remastering. This was the sole Tony Martin-era Black Sabbath album that was not included in the Tony Martin Years box set, which was a real bummer to me. And I understand that originally this was on Warner Brothers, and the albums that were included in the box set was from IRS Records, which have since been, I don't know if they've been purchased back or licensed or what it was, because the box set came out on Rhino and Warner Brothers, and this is on Rhino and Warner Brothers, so they easily could have put this in there. And I don't know if the distinction is simply that Tony Martin came in, he didn't write anything on this, and he never really felt like this was his album, this was somebody else's, so it wasn't included because it really wasn't part of his time. He was just came in and sang for this album, but he sang on it. So as far as I'm concerned, it should have been included. Tony Martin sang on 5 albums. All 5 should have been in that box set. It is what it is, but we've got the remastering, and this sounds really good too. I've got a previous remastering of this album when Sanctuary Records got a hold of it and put it out. I don't know if it was the late 90s, very early 2000s when that happened. But this one here sounds so much better. So totally worth it just for that. Plus, you get, extra artwork and everything with this thing. That you also get 2 bonus tracks. They are on the 2 CD deluxe edition, so they have been released. But if you only ever had the single disc, you're getting 2 additional B-sides, Some Kind of Woman and Black Moon, also included on this. And I didn't know they were coming on it, so that made it even better for me. All right, one that I haven't had a chance yet to open, Honeymoon Suite has a brand new album. I have listened to it and streamed it. I just didn't open it yet. It's out on Frontiers Records. And this is called Wake Me Up When the Sun Goes Down. We still have the 2 main guys, guitar player and singer, still in the group doing this. And if you like AOR melodic rock style stuff, if you like Honeymoon Suite out of the 80s, this is just more stuff of it. Very good. So what ended up happening, the reason why this isn't open, I actually just got this in the mail along with these 2, because Amazon, I had an order. It was due to arrive Friday. Then it didn't come. It was supposed to arrive on Saturday. Then all of a sudden it said it isn't going to arrive until July 30th. So I had to reorder everything and get it to come overnight. And then these things all just arrived. So I opened these up. I had been streaming this stuff, so I already knew it, but I had to open these up to film my reviews and everything. And I haven't had a chance yet to open this one. That's why it's still sealed. But as I said, I've already streamed it. It's really good. I can highly recommend this album. And this came out a week or 2 back. I'm not exactly sure which week it is, but After the Fire, ATF, and this one's called Bright Lights, and it's 1974 to 1983. And so it has the 4 albums that they recorded during that time frame. And then it has this album here, which is simply called AT2F. And I don't exactly know the history. I haven't had a chance to read into it just yet, but I saw that it came out later. So maybe it's a collection of songs from back in the day, a compilation of stuff that later was put out and released. But not an album like this. Was during the time that they were a band. And most of you guys may know this, the one that is simply called Der Kommissar, which was the big hit. And that was a re-recording of the minor Falco song of the same name, the German language song. This band translated it to English and released a rock version of it. I always thought this was an album. I was surprised to see when I got this that it was not included in here. Turns out this was just a compilation. It took the one song, Der Kommissar, which was released as a single, started to shoot up the chart, and they had broken up, and so they had to release an album behind it. The record label did a compilation of songs from those first 4 albums and put Der Kommissar on as the lead track. And you get this, it becomes their most successful release. And a lot of people only know this, but in fact, those songs come from this. So because of that, I wanted to check this out with the rest of the material that's here, and check this out. If you like new wave bands, that's what this is. The band did start in '74, but they very much have that sort of art rock sound to it. And so one of those clamshell style boxes, and we get a great booklet with it, which I'm looking forward to getting in and reading on. and getting information about all the tracks and seeing some of the cool photos and everything that's in this booklet, I think is really cool. Sometimes the little booklets that come with these clamshell style things don't add up to very much. Maybe it's just lyrics, but you get all of these. I wanted to open this and show you because it's not shown on the front, but they do have this one in here, early demos and pre-Laser Love demos. So before they were ATF and, at just after and for Laser Love. So you end up getting 5 CDs in this thing. You add in the booklet with it, so it's a nice little package. That information is on the back side of it. All 5 are talked about there, but on the front, they only show you, or I should say 6. There's the 5 that are shown here, but there are 6 discs in here. I don't know why they didn't show that on the front, except it's not an official release. It's just demos and stuff that are added in. So even getting this, you're getting a bunch of bonus tracks on each of the discs, but you also get all of those demos and everything, making this a very cool collection. Another couple ones that I just got and haven't had a chance to open up just yet. I got this Marillion release, which I think came out last week. It's a reissue. This one is The Strange Engine, and it's got a 2025 mix on it. 1997 was the original release of this. Steve Hogarth is the lead singer at this time. It's not Fish, but I happen to like that era of the band, and I'm really enjoying all of these remixes that bands are doing, these reimaginings. Didn't even think much about it, but getting it here with Bruce and then getting this. And of course, we have other artists that do a lot of those things. In particular, Jethro Tull. This one, not a remix, but it was the one sole Jethro Tull album that I didn't have yet, jtull.com. I thought I owned this one, but I did not own it. And I finally came across it used. Copy of this at Sound Exchange, so I was able to get a hold of this, complete my Jethro Tull collection, and yeah, I'm collecting all those remixes that band has been doing as well. A lot of the remixes I think just are more spatially interesting to listen to. There's more space that lets the instrumentation breathe in them. So for a lot of the reason, that's why I like the remixes than the original ones. And the technology just wasn't there on a lot of these early recordings. So again, the remix really allows technology to take charge and make it sound like what the artist had hoped it to sound like. So that's a lot of fun. And then not just this past Friday, but the previous Friday before, one of the main stories out that was exciting for me was that the band Asia, this is with John Payne, and it had reformed, and they have a new guitar player, and it's Francis Dunnery from the band It Bites. And I didn't own anything from It Bites. So I immediately had to go and grab this one here. This is the album cover, at least, that I recognize. I think this is like 1989, and it's called Eat Me in St. Louis, which I would have thought was maybe a live album or something, but in fact, no, is a studio album. This one here, in fact, is a 2-disc set, so I'm excited to check out all the bonus content that is on this one. But a lot of people came back after that story aired and said, hey, Francis Dunnery is a really great guitar player. He's going to be a good addition to the band Asia featuring John Payne. And I thought, you know what? I got to check this guy out. I got to know, because they're in the studio recording. We got the other Asia with Jeff Downs. They have a new lineup. They're recording. So next year, 2026, it looks like we are going to be getting 2 Asia albums, just different lineups. And I'm cool with that, man. Jeff Downs, he is Asia, so him doing his thing, that's cool. But John Payne was such a great part of the band from 1990 through I think about 2006, give or take 16 years that he fronted the group. And I always liked that more progressive era of the band. So I'm equally a fan of the different eras and love that we've got those versions of the band going on. But there you guys go. That's the 7 CDs and 1 box set that I picked up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Maybe you found out something interesting in here that you want to go search out. As I said, I did do 2 full reviews, one of the Alice Cooper, one of the Bruce Dickinson, so you can go check those out in greater detail, get more information if you want to know more about it, all the background, all the cool stuff like that. But all in all, what did you pick up this past week? What was your favorite find? Did you pick up the new Alice Cooper? Weigh in. Let me know. Let me know about that Bruce Dickinson or any other release that you picked up that I didn't talk about here. Let the people viewing know about it in the comments. Maybe they'll be excited about that. All right, everyone. Take care. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.